Good morning, everyone. It is almost 9 o'clock here. My clock just switched to 9 o'clock, so let's begin almost immediately. So a couple reminders. You are here this morning with the 10, 10, and 10 morning wake-up program by Cowichan Brain Injury Society. I am Billy, the registered kinesiologist at Cowichan Brain Injury Society, and this program is based on the 6 pillars of brain health. We try to cover 3 of those 6 pillars today. We spend 10 minutes moving our body. We spend 10 minutes learning something. And then we spend 10 minutes of mindfulness to help us with stress management. It's a great way to start your week. And the movement that we do here, you can try to do every morning. Would be a great way to work some movement into your routine daily. And after we stream this live, you can access these videos whenever you want, which is most appropriate for you in your day. Just some safety pieces. I should say Cowichan Brain Injury Society is a nonprofit that serves the Cowichan Valley and brain injured folks living in the Cowichan Valley, as well as their supports and caregivers. We provide educational program, some rehab, some social programs, and movement programs. Yeah. Some safety pieces is you just want to make sure you're in a safe environment where you can move your arms freely. You want to feel hydrated and have some food in your belly. Ideally, you're in a straight back chair that helps you to sit nice and upright. We're not in a recliner here. We are working our body. Ideally, I want you on the edge of your chair as well. Hopefully you can see my feet here. I'll move back actually, but I would like you at the edge of the chair to foster that engagement in your abdominal muscles and a good posture throughout our movement. Remember that Cowichan Brain Injury Society is not liable for any injury. It is up to you to listen to your body, take things slower if you need to. If anything feels painful or uncomfortable, take a pause and come back to it. You can always ask me questions at the office at some point as well, or send me an email. What else? Yeah, and just making sure you're free of hazards. Okay, I have some music going. If you want, put your own music on, get some water close by as we're going to try to get our bodies moving here. I'm going to press play. And today I'm actually going to start with showing each move in the chair, and then I'll stand up. So we're just going to start with some marching in place. Yes, you can do this seated in your chair, but if you would like, you can stand up. Bringing that knee as high, move back a bit, as high as you can up to your chest. All right, and if you're feeling up to it, you can do this in your chair as well. We're going to add an arm. So opposite arm to leg. Opposite. You can also be doing this standing, but holding on to a chair. So the chair can just be beside you here, or you can be standing behind your chair for balance. Let's do a couple more seconds here. Good work. I might be doing the movements a little bit longer as I explain them standing and seated. Okay, the next movement, we're going to be stepping out to the side. We do this one fairly often, and you can add some arms out in a T here. Standing. Keep it up. Try and give yourself a decent pace so that heart rate is rising a bit. 15 more seconds. Good work. Again, you can be doing this standing behind your chair or holding on to a chair at the side here. Awesome. Okay, The next one, we're just going to do heel, toe raise, heel, toe raise. But we're going to add some hands. So on our heel, we come back, toes up. Good. Standing, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes. Good. Raising your toes can be quite unbalanced. So again, using a chair for balance is a good idea. Good work. Keep it up. Couple more seconds here. We're going to do another 10. Getting our ankles strong. Kind of doing everything for like a minute 45 seconds now instead of 30. Okay. Next exercise, we're just doing our upper body. We're going to have our hands out in front, then palms up, to the side, down. Up, palms up, side, down. Whoop. Again, just standing. We're just doing the upper body. This is a patterned move, so gets our brain working. It's also a great chest opener. Good work. Helps get those shoulders down and back. Helping our posture here. 5 more seconds. Good. Okay, next one, we're going to be doing hip hinge. Reaching forward. That's what it looks like on the chair. Standing, feet shoulder width apart. Changing our center of gravity. Need a little kind of thrust there. This is good for your hip extenders. So hip extension here, getting our glutes engaged whenever we're doing any type of like glute thrust. Good for that. I'm going to turn to the side so you can kind of see what this looks like. So this is just my hips. Back staying straight. Good. Almost done here. Let's do 2 more. Good. All right. We're going to be kicking forward. That's what it looks like sitting. It's kicking forward. Nice. Going at a pace that feels good for you. Extending all the way if you can. You can add some arms. Kicking forward. I'm just bringing my hands to each side. We're going to do this for 15 more seconds. Again, going at a pace that feels good for you. You could tap your heel in front or keep it off the ground to make it more challenging for your balance. 5 more seconds. Good. All right. Okay, this next one, if you're sitting in the chair, it's going to be bringing your leg back as far as you can. We'll alternate which foot is going back. I say feet and foot interchangeably. It's funny. So we'll do a couple here and then switch to the other side. Do about 5 and then switch. Standing, we're tapping backwards. And go sideways again. Butt exercise again. And go slow, really engage that buttocks. You can do those same kind of arms I was doing before. Good. 10 more seconds. Awesome. Okay, let's just do some shoulder rolls here. You can do this standing. Go the other way. Kind of like you're swimming here. Get your arms involved. Awesome. Let's do a cross. Again, what this looks like here. Sitting. You can keep kicking out to just add a little bit more movement. Think about your upper body being squeezed between two planes of glass. Good. Okay, we're going to do some arm rainbows. So if you're in your chair, you're going to reach down to the ground towards your toes and then stretching up. Down to your toes, stretching up. If you're standing, I want you to do a squat down, reaching up, squatting. Good. Let's go the other way. I feel like my head's being cut off a bit, so I need to figure that out for next week. Okay, 5 more seconds. Awesome. Whew. Hope you're feeling a bit warm. We're almost done. Our last exercise, we're just going to do a twist and reach. This is what it looks like if you're sitting in your chair. Standing, you're shifting your weight from side to side. See how my one foot lifts off the ground, the heel, shifting the weight, reaching across. Again, cutting off my head a bit here. Move back a bit. Okay. We're almost there. 10 more seconds, and this is our last exercise. Good work. Give your body a bit of a shake. Shake, 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 wiggle, 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 let it out. Pause your music. If you have music going, get comfortable. I'm going to take off my sweater. I'm right near the heater as well, so should maybe not turn that up right before I start moving. It's cold in the morning. Okay, great. I hope that got you feeling energized for your day, and I hope it was helpful to have the sitting and the standing to see you can do these movements either way. We want it to be accessible for all folks. Any feedback is welcome if that worked or not, and I will try to push all my stuff back so my head doesn't get cut off there. Okay, so this month we're going to be talking about nutrition. But today, the first kind of piece of nutrition is actually hydration. When we talk about nutrition, it's really just about things coming into our body and leaving our body kind of thing. So it's like that whole digestion system, and water or hydration, drinks, is kind of part of that system. So that's what we're going to talk about a bit today. So as probably many of you know, our body is 50 to 65% water. There is water in every cell in our body, in our muscles, in our organs, in between spaces, throughout the blood. So water is basically everywhere within us. It is essential for proper functioning. So our body does create some water on its own, but it doesn't create enough to replenish what we secrete kind of, or we get rid of. So we get rid of things by, urine or sweating, or within our cells, these different chemical reactions might be using oxygen or water, sorry. Definitely use oxygen, but might be using, and oxygen's part of water, so that statement checks out. But some of these chemical reactions in our body are using up water as well. So water is constantly being used or secreted in different ways. So we need to be taking some in to replenish the use of the water. Now we take in hydration and water through things we eat as well. Fruits, vegetables have lots of water within it. And anything you drink is hydrating you to a degree. Now, some hydrate you better because they're just like water on its own is just water. You're not adding in a bunch of extra things. But coffee, people often think, oh, coffee actually dehydrates you. Yes, there's stuff in coffee that can dehydrate you, but it still hydrates you. There's still water in it, and your body will pull out that water as well. So any type of fluid will have some water in it that it will take out. Pops, fruit juice, etc. You will get some water and hydration from that, but you're also getting lots of sugar and caffeine and all these other things. So water is the most pure way you can get it. So it also manages our body temperature, which is really essential, and it maintains fluid balance between the outside and inside of cells, which is really essential for cell function. This obviously relates to brain function as well. Our neurons are specialized cells in our brain, and they need water to function. So if we don't have enough water, we might have issues with our brain health. And the signs of dehydration are very similar to some of the signs of a brain injury. So fogginess and dizziness, lack of focus, feeling exhausted and tired. I don't know, but I think some of us who've had brain injuries might have those symptoms. They look very similar to dehydration. So sometimes you might be out in the world, trying to figure out what your triggers and what activates you, what makes you feel more dizzy or more overwhelmed in your head or foggy. But also if you're not hydrated enough, that will also exacerbate those symptoms. So be aware of that. Making sure you're getting enough water throughout the day is an essential piece. So how much water do you need? Now, this is very dependent on your age, on your body weight, on how much activity you get. I looked at a chart and I am 125 pounds. So I need about 8 glasses of water. So 8, I think it's 250 mils. But I also am moving a lot. Not like insane amounts, but I even my muscle tone, I think there's just a lot of energy in this little body. So I probably need more than that 8 cups of water. But trying to increase your water intake, if you know this is something you struggle with, you don't need to be perfect at it. But if you're like, okay, I know I struggle or get dehydrated or don't get enough water, I'm just going to make sure I have a glass of water when I wake up, an hour or 2 before bed. I know this can affect getting up to pee in the night, so be mindful of that. But finding ways in your routine where you can integrate more hydration and more water. I'm just trying to think what else. Oh, a fun fact is that what I read was that food provides about 20% of our water. So not enough on its own. So you do need to be drinking the water. So basically what I'm saying is hydration is important for our body to function properly. Symptoms from our brain injury also are similar to symptoms of dehydration. So it can get confusing to know what is actually at the root of the problem. If you know you struggle with drinking enough water or getting enough hydration, try to make some changes around that. I don't want to bombard you with information. Try not to do that. But I did want to mention just electrolytes. There's a lot of buzz around electrolytes and helping with hydration, and they are really essential. Basically, what electrolytes are essential chemicals that we need in our body. So sodium is one of those, magnesium, potassium, calcium, chloride, phosphate. There's a whole group of them, and they kind of break apart in water so that they become either positively or negatively charged. And then they provide basically electricity, like jumps between these ions. And that is important for our body to function and important for chemical reactions within our body. So electrolytes are important, though we do get a lot of these chemicals in, again, the foods we eat. And unless you're doing high intensity exercise or you suffer from being dehydrated, electrolytes aren't necessary. But if you're doing any high intensity exercise, like if I come back from a run, I often drink an electrolyte drink because I will have sweated so much and sweated a lot of those electrolytes out. So to help replenish them quickly, they're important. And yeah, they regulate chemical reactions inside your body as well as balance the fluid within a cell and outside of the cell to make them optimal. Like optimal function of our cells in our body we need these essential chemicals for optimal cell performance. Does that make sense? So if you know you have issues with dehydration, electrolytes might be helpful. If you're doing high intensity exercise, electrolyte drinks might be helpful. I hope that makes sense. I hope it wasn't too much information. Takeaways, check in with your body, how it's feeling. Are you getting enough water? If you know you're not, how can you build in more consumption of water into your routine? Okay, next week, we'll dive into macronutrients and have a good discussion about that. And I got a lot of this information. I actually found a YouTube video about electrolytes it was a BBC thing that I thought was helpful. So I'll try and post that underneath. And I also, some of this stuff I just knew, and I also looked at the Mayo Clinic for some other information about like how much water you should have and some of those other little pieces. Okay, I hope you got something out of that. And we are going to move into our mindfulness practice. We'll be starting to revisit some of those pieces or different mindfulness practices that we've already tried. But I have a couple more in my bag that I'd like to try out with you. So today we're going to do some box breathing. Now, box breathing is kind of a manipulation of your inhale and exhale, as well as there's a little bit of holding breath. Now, if you've ever been told not to hold your breath or do the Valsalva moves, which is this holding breath and like bearing down, not that we're bearing down, we're not doing any like intense things, but don't do this, but we are only holding it very slightly. We're not holding it tightly in our body. We're just doing a soft, like not inhaling and exhaling for just a couple of counts. So it should be pretty accessible for everyone. But if you've ever been told not to do anything like this, please refrain. And just, you can notice your breathing today. So I'm grabbing a little whiteboard. I'll come a little bit closer too. Tried a new chair today. I don't think it's been squeaking as much. So I like to think about drawing a box with my finger. So I'm going to draw one on my little whiteboard here. What we're going to do is we're going to inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just a square. We're going to, if you want, you can use your finger to help you count or help you do this box breathing, but I will count us down as well. So get yourself comfortable in your chair. You can lean back now. You don't need to have those abs engaged anymore. And let's first just notice our breath. We're not going to manipulate it yet. So just check in with your body here. You can place one hand on your chest, one hand just above your belly button. And just let's start with noticing the rise and fall of your lungs. I'm not going to have any judgment here, but you're going to notice. Do you notice your upper chest rising more than your lower? If it's more up here, you're just breathing a little bit more shallow. So I'm going to invite you to try and deepen your breath, filling your lungs to capacity. And exhale, expanding down to that lower hand. Trying to get a rise into that tummy area. Really using your diaphragm effectively to breathe deeply. Remember, you always want to inhale through your nose. Your exhale can either be through your mouth or your nose. Okay, I'm going to try to guide us now with some of this box breathing. So on your next inhale, we're going to count to 4. So take a moment. We're going to inhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Okay, go back to your normal breath. You can keep doing that box breathing. Just keep breathing. I'm going to try to get you to keep doing that little bit of hold, and if only just for a second or two feels good, but between your inhale, hold for a couple seconds, exhale, hold for a couple seconds. Do this for about 30 more seconds. And you're going to come back to the room, to the space you're in. Keep breathing, of course, but you can take your focus away from your breathing. Again, having this rhythm of counting, holding, that gives you something to focus your energy on. And that can help you when those thoughts, racing thoughts might be coming in. It can be a kind of grounding piece of where you're refocusing your energy. Just as we have used the color breathing or the tapping or having an item that we're focusing on, we're always having something where we refocus our energy when these thoughts come back into our head. There has been evidence to show that this kind of holding breath is a really great, and you're not holding your breath for very long, but just for these little moments can be really beneficial in helping to calm the nervous system. So getting that parasympathetic nervous system activated, which is the kind of relax, rest, digest. It's when your body is at a calm and homeostasis. So it's like even keel. That's if you can activate your parasympathetic nervous system, that helps with our stress management and bringing kind of calmness and to our bodies. The sympathetic nervous system is when we get those cortisol influxes, where we're working really hard, or we might be trying to problem solve something. So your body's more elevated, which is not, again, I think we've talked about, not a bad thing, but it's being able to bring yourself back down. It's like turning up volumes and turning down volumes. And you don't want to be on high. You don't want to be way up here all of the time. We need to be able to calm and use some tools to help us have less stress in our lives and be more mindful and present with the people we love and with ourselves. I hope that was beneficial today. Hope you learned something. Hope you're feeling ready to take on your day. A little cloudier today, but I hope you can find some joy in your day somehow. Keep that brain healthy from all of us at Cowichan Brain Injury Society. Bye.